Benson Boone's story isn't your usual tale of a kid who always wanted to be a singer. In fact, music was never part of his plan. Born in Monroe, Washington, in June 2002, Benson grew up in a large Mormon family with 5 siblings. He wasn't known for singing or writing songs. Instead, he was an athlete, a daredevil, and a creative kid who once dreamed of designing buildings. From a young age, he was full of energy, always jumping off couches and trying new stunts. His father once said Benson was flipping around the house before he even learned to ride a bike. Architecture and design were his main interests, and he wanted to study those subjects in college. But life has a funny way of changing direction. Everything took a surprising turn in his junior year of high school. When a friend asked him to help out with their band for a school event, he agreed to play piano. But when the band's lead singer dropped out at the last moment, Benson was pushed to take the mic. He had never performed in front of anyone before. Even his parents had never heard him sing a note. That night, Benson stepped onto the stage nervously, but the moment he began singing, everyone was stunned. His mother was brought to tears, and the crowd loved it. They won the battle of the bands, and Benson discovered something new inside himself, a hidden voice that changed everything. After that first performance, Benson started experimenting with music more seriously. He began recording short clips of himself singing and posting them on TikTok. His voice quickly drew attention, and he built a growing audience of fans who were moved by his natural tone and emotional delivery. Soon, he received an unexpected call from producers of American Idol. Benson wasn't a huge follower of the show, but he saw it as an amazing opportunity to explore this new path. He had just taken a break from college at BYU, Idaho, which gave him time to give music a try. When he entered the audition room, he looked like a regular teenager who could hardly believe where he was. Sitting at the piano, he performed Aiden Martin's song, Punchline. Within moments, judges Katy Perry, Lionel Richie, and Luke Bryan were blown away. Perry was shocked to learn that he had only been singing for about a year, and told him that fans would fall in love with his voice. Luke Bryan called him a true gift, while Lionel Richie praised his raw, natural talent. Everyone believed he had what it took to win the competition. But just when his journey seemed ready to take off, Benson made a shocking decision. He decided to leave American Idol voluntarily. Fans were confused and heartbroken. Early reports had shown his name on the list of top 24 contestants, but when the Hollywood round aired, he was gone. What made him walk away from such a massive opportunity? For Benson Boone, leaving American Idol wasn't an act of rebellion, it was a choice to stay true to himself. He explained later that he didn't want to be known as just another American Idol singer. Many contestants from the show had struggled to build careers outside of that label, and Benson didn't want to feel trapped by it. At the time, he wasn't even sure if music was something he wanted to do for the rest of his life. Competing on a global stage while still uncertain about his future felt wrong to him. So, even though it meant walking away from fame and a huge platform, he decided to trust his instincts. His parents were surprised when he called to tell them his decision. They couldn't understand why he would give up something so big, especially since he had just started. But after he explained that he didn't want to build a career under the Idol label, they respected his choice and gave him their full support. The decision wasn't easy. He had never written a song before and had no guarantee that his music career would continue. But Benson was willing to take the risk. In his mind, it was better to fail on his own terms than succeed under someone else's name. It was a moment that showed his courage and independence, two traits that would define his career in the years to come. After leaving American Idol, Benson continued to post music on social media. His performances caught the attention of Don Reynolds, the lead singer of Imagine Dragons. Reynolds was so impressed by Benson's natural voice that he reached out through Instagram and invited him to collaborate. At that point, Benson had never written his own songs, but he took the chance and flew to Las Vegas to work with Reynolds. The two spent several days together writing and recording, and their chemistry was undeniable. Reynolds saw something special in Benson, not just talent, but genuine heart and humility. Soon after, Benson signed with Reynolds' record label, Night Street Records, under Warner Records. His first single, Ghost Town, was released in late 2021 and quickly gained attention worldwide. The song, which he wrote after watching a friend go through a painful breakup, showed surprising emotional depth for an 18. It charted in over 16 countries and proved that Benson was more than just a viral voice, he was a real artist. He followed it with songs like Room for Two and In the Stars, the latter becoming a viral hit on TikTok and Instagram. In the Stars was inspired by the passing of his great-grandmother and expressed the pain of losing someone close. It touched millions of listeners and became one of his signature songs. Through these early releases, Benson began shaping his identity as an artist who could mix heartfelt lyrics with soaring, emotional vocals. By 2023, Benson Boone had become one of the fastest rising stars in pop music. His first EP, Walk Me Home, introduced listeners to his honest songwriting and soft pop rock sound. A year later, he released Pulse, which included 5 new tracks and helped solidify his reputation as a powerful performer. Then came his debut album, Fireworks and Rollerblades, released in 2024. The album's standout song, Beautiful Things, became an international sensation. It climbed to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and spent a record 55 weeks on the charts. The song's gradual build from a soft piano opening to a powerful, emotional climax showed his vocal strength and dramatic style. The music video for Beautiful Things was filmed in Utah and even won an MTV Video Music Award for Best Alternative Music. Video critics began comparing him to artists like Harry Styles and Sabrina Carpenter because of his balance between pop, accessibility, and deep emotion. On stage, he embraced an expressive and theatrical style inspired by legends like Elton John and Freddie Mercury. Off stage, however, Benson remained grounded. He stayed away from alcohol and smoking, talked openly about gratitude, and continued to value family and faith. This mix of glam rock performance and wholesome personality made him stand out in an industry full of contradictions. He wasn't trying to be the next rock star, he was simply trying to be himself. As Benson's fame grew, so did the attention, not all of it positive. His 2025 Grammy nomination for Best New Artist marked a huge milestone, even though he didn't win. He performed Beautiful Things live during the show and received praise for his energy and showmanship. However, one playful moment during the performance caught the internet's attention for all the wrong reasons. After doing one of his famous backflips on stage, he made a small adjustment to his outfit that was caught on camera, leading to a flood of online jokes and memes. Benson later laughed it off, saying his tight jumpsuit was to blame, but the moment went viral anyway. Later that year, at Coachella, his performance drew mixed reviews. Some fans loved his passion and athletic stunts, while critics felt his theatrics overshadowed his vocals. When he expressed disappointment online about the crowd's reaction, the internet quickly divided. Some defended him, while others accused him of being ungrateful. The controversy deepened when Pitchfork called his performance one of the weakest of the festival, and Benson clapped back online. Despite the noise, he kept moving forward. His bold stage presence continued to make headlines, both for his fashion choices and his fearless attitude. Some compared him to the berries and cream meme. Others called him a refreshing reminder that pop stars could still have fun. Love him or hate him, everyone agreed on one thing: Benson Boone knew how to get people talking. Behind all the flashing lights and social media buzz, Benson Boone's personal life remained mostly private. For a long time, he kept his relationships out of the public eye. However, in 2024, fans finally got a glimpse of his romantic side when he appeared with his girlfriend, Maggie Thurman. Maggie was a talented influencer, acrobat, and podcast host who co-starred in a show called Wholesome Chaos with her father. The two appeared together at the Elton John AIDS Foundation's Oscars watch party, and later confirmed their relationship on Instagram. They quickly became one of the most admired young couples in the entertainment world. Benson often spoke fondly of her, calling her kind, supportive, and inspiring. He even revealed that his song, Beautiful Things, was written at the start of their relationship, expressing how deeply he cared for her. Another track, There She Goes, was also inspired by her. During his tour, he would often dedicate it to her on stage, telling fans she was someone very special. Maggie returned that love publicly, especially after his Grammy nomination, calling him talented, kind, funny, and hot. For a while, they appeared inseparable, attending major events and enjoying each other's success. But in late 2025, news broke that the couple had quietly ended the Benson Boone's decision to walk away from American Idol was something that shocked many people at the time. After all, most contestants dream of getting such a big opportunity, and only a few are lucky enough to make it past the auditions. For Benson, quitting wasn't about fear or failure. It was about realizing that he needed to understand who he was before the world decided for him. He was still young, barely out of high school, and had suddenly been thrown into a world of cameras, contracts, and expectations. Many people thought he had made a huge mistake by leaving the show. But looking back, it might have been the smartest choice of his life. That one bold decision showed that Benson cared more about the music than the fame that came with it. When Benson left the show, he didn't disappear completely. Instead, he began using social media to share short covers and original songs. People immediately connected with his voice. It wasn't overly polished or artificial. It sounded real, raw, and filled with emotion. That authenticity caught the attention of many in the music industry, including Dan Reynolds, the lead singer of Imagine Dragons. Reynolds signed Benson to his label, Night Street Records, and began helping him find his sound as an artist. This was the moment when Benson started turning from a small-town kid into a rising pop star with a purpose. He didn't need a reality show trophy to prove his worth. His voice and heart were enough. In 2021, Benson released his first single, Ghost Town, and it completely changed everything. The song was emotional, simple, and deeply personal. It talked about love, loss, and the feeling of not being enough, something almost everyone can relate to. It didn't have fancy effects or a dance beat. It was just his voice and the piano. But that's exactly why it worked. It sounded real. Listeners all over the world were moved by it, and soon, radio stations began playing it on repeat. The song entered the Billboard Hot 100 and made Benson a name to remember. For a guy who once doubted if he was good enough for American Idol, that moment proved that his instincts had been right all along. With his newfound fame, Benson began performing on television shows and small tours. Every performance showed more confidence, but also more emotion. He didn't try to act like a superstar, he stayed humble, often smiling nervously before singing. That humility became part of his charm. Fans didn't just love his songs, they loved him. They felt that he was genuine, someone who hadn't been swallowed up by Hollywood. His interviews were filled with laughter and awkward honesty, and he never tried to pretend that fame hadn't changed him a little. He admitted that it was overwhelming but said he was grateful for every chance he got to share his music with people who cared. After the success of Ghost Town, Benson released several other singles like In the Stars, Sugar, Sweet, and Beautiful Things. Each song showed a different side of him, from heartbreak to hope, from pain to gratitude. What made Benson stand out was his ability to turn his emotions into simple lyrics that anyone could understand. You didn't need to be a music expert to feel something when he sang. His songs were like diary entries, filled with honesty and a touch of sadness, but always with a hint of hope. It was clear that Benson wasn't chasing trends. He was building his own path, one song at a time. Social media continued to play a big role in his success. On TikTok and Instagram, clips of his songs went viral, often used by fans to express their own emotions. In a world where most music is heavily produced, Benson's songs felt refreshing because they were built on sincerity. He often shared behind-the-scenes moments, songwriting clips, and funny videos that showed his goofy personality. It reminded fans that beneath the fame, he was still the same kid who once did backflips during performances just for fun. This mix of humor, humility, and heart made him one of the most relatable artists in the industry. The price of fame, but like many young artists, Benson soon learned that fame comes with a price. The more famous he became, the more people began to watch his every move. The same internet that helped him rise also became a source of criticism and pressure. People began judging his performances, his outfits, and even his facial expressions. Every little thing he did was turned into a viral clip. Some praised him for being talented and authentic, while others mocked him or tried to make memes out of his emotional performances. It was difficult for him to stay grounded when millions of people had an opinion about him. Benson tried to stay positive, but there were times when the attention felt too heavy. He once mentioned in interviews that being in the public eye could be exhausting, especially when he just wanted to focus on making music. He also faced rumors and online teasing after a few stage moments were taken out of context. One such moment during a live performance went viral, and many people misunderstood it, turning it into a joke online. Benson didn't lash out or complain. Instead, he stayed quiet, letting the noise fade away while he continued performing and creating. It showed a level of maturity that many young stars never find so early in their careers. Despite the challenges, Benson's connection with his fans never faded. His concerts were often emotional experiences where fans sang along to every lyric. Many people said his music helped them through tough times, breakups, loss, or that's what truly defined him as an artist. He wasn't trying to impress anyone with high notes or flashy music videos. He wanted to connect. Songs like In the Stars became anthems for people dealing with grief, while Beautiful Things reminded listeners to appreciate what they have before it's gone. These themes of love, loss, and gratitude became the core of Benson's identity as a musician. What made his music even more special was how it grew with him. As Benson matured, his lyrics began to show more depth. He started writing about understanding yourself, dealing with change, and learning to forgive both others and yourself. His songwriting showed wisdom beyond his years, and fans appreciated that he wasn't afraid to show vulnerability. In many ways, his songs became a safe space for people who felt unseen or unheard. It's rare to find an artist who can comfort you with a single verse, but Benson Boone managed to do that consistently. Heartbreak and growth. Like many musicians, Benson's personal life often